Hi, so I just thought I would walk through with you exercise 2 and exercise 5 this morning. In exercise 2, you have nouns and you are translating them. This is the simplest form of exercise and it is the best for challenge A because it drills the two most important things, the vocabulary and the grammar. So we'll start with number 4 because we did do a few of these in class. Number 4 is gloriam. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the ending, which is this So we have two parts. Now I can underline the stem. So we talked about in class how the stem tells us what the word means and the ending tells us how the word is being used. So I know this comes from gloria, gloriae, which is fame or glory. And then I'm going to go with fame, okay? And then I have to think through those first declension endings. I, arum, is, as, is, and is right here. Well, what does that mean? Nominative subject, genitive possessive, dative indirect object, accusative direct object. So I know that this is accusative, and I know that it's singular because singular is first, plural is second, right? So this is accusative plural. Accusative means a direct object. So it can be a fame, the fame, or just fame. And I don't have to do anything else to it because it's singular. So I suspect you can't read that very well. My final answer is going to be fame. It would also be correct to write the fame, right? Maybe in a sentence. I'm not going to worry about that. It could be any of those. Next, we have portas. Portas. So again, I need to underline my ending and my stem as two separate parts. Port is from porta, portai, which means gate. And then as, I have to think through. As shows up here also in the accusative, but in the plural. So I can just put gates or the gates, but I could not put a gates, correct? Now I skipped number 6 and I jumped to number 7 because this is going to happen sometimes. Number 7 is victoriae. I start by underlining my ending and then my stem, and I know that victoria, victoriae is victory. But here is my conundrum, because I, spelled A-E, shows up in 3 different places, right? So which one is it? The answer is, I'm just checking something in my book real quick. The answer is that there are 3 answers. So it could be genitive singular, genitive singular, and then it would mean, remember in the genitive that's possessive and always goes with of, so of the victory. It could also be dative singular, and dative is the indirect object which answers the question to whom or for whom. So I know it could be to the victory or for the victory. Either one is fine to write. You could write both. Maybe check with your teacher what they want you to do in that case. And then the other option is that it could be nominative plural. And in the nominative, that means it's the subject. So I could say the victories, but I have to make it plural, victories. Or I could just say victories. I could not say of victories, because it's plural. And those are the three options. So that is the correct way to answer number 7. When there's more than one option, show all the options. So here we have accusative plural, and it's fame. I forgot to write it out here. Accusative plural, and it's Gates. So that is how you do exercise 2. And spending 15 to 20 minutes working on that exercise will benefit you a great deal. The other exercise I wanted to showcase is exercise 5. So you will have a section in your book where you will learn about how we use rules of gender and the use of verbs. They will talk about subject-verb agreement, which is the same rules that we have in English, pretty much. And then they were going to give you 4 verbs. We looked at those briefly in class. And then exercise 5 right away gives you an opportunity to practice using verbs with nouns. So I thought I would do number 1 and 2. Number 1, Maria orat. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is always start with your verb. And the verb is usually at the end of the sentence. So my verb here is orat. And because I've just learned that, and that's right there on page 11, I know that orat means he, she, or it prays. Okay? Looking at that, he, she, or it, that means it has to be singular, and my verb has to agree with my noun. So this needs to be singular, right? And then I look at Maria. Well, this is going to have to be singular because Maria is Mary, and you're not going to have Mary plural, right? So now I'm going to go back to thinking about my endings. Maria, with no macron, is nominative singular. Now, you do not have to write all of this for your final answer in your workspace, but writing these things down is a great way to drill the grammar, to drill the rules, and to drill the vocabulary. Writing these things down, the information, this is like what we do on the Quid et Quo and Essentials, where we parse it. We say everything we know about a word, and that helps us to translate it. So now I've written what I know about these words, and I can say, well, this is Mary, and this is he, she, or it prays. Mary is a she, so I translate this, she is Mary. So I'd not say Mary, she prays. I would say Mary prays. Some of you might be able to look at Maria orat and know right away that it says Mary prays. If that's you, congratulations, that's good. But it is still beneficial and important to write down what we know about these words. Okay? The other sentence I have is number 2, nautai orant. So again, I'm going to start with my verb. And this, I know from the vocabulary on page 11, is they pray. And I know it's plural because of the they. So this has to be plural. Because I wonder if anyone saw nautai and thought, oh no, this is one of those nouns that can be 3 different things. How am I going to know which one it is? Well, because of our verb, we know that it has to be plural because the subject and the verb have to agree. And only one of my options for nautai is plural. Right here in the nominative plural. We know that it's first declension. We know that this happens to be masculine. Maria is feminine. We could have written that down. I just didn't think of it at the time. Okay. So now we have, what does nautai mean? Looking at our stem, sailor, correct? But it's plural, so it would be sailors, and orant is they pray. So my sentence is, the sailors pray. and that pulls it all together. So that is what you're doing in exercise 5. Also a great exercise to practice your vocabulary, to practice these rules, and to put it into application. And I know that you guys are going to do great with this. So if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask.